We're talking about the days leading up to Chan's Room episode 43 this week, which involves some sensitive topics. This week's time travel centers around the time period when a former member permanently left the group. If you're avoiding this topic, it's best not to follow along for this week's dive into Stray Kids history. We're picking up where we left off on our episode 42 rewatch, where Stays sensed Chan could use some extra love. 2 intense weeks of Double Knot promos had left him tired. Unkind comments had crept into his safe space, and the songs that week in Chan's room had felt heavier than usual. Stays had spammed the chat during episode 42 with hugs for Chan, and decided to take the party to social media afterwards too, where Stays sent out over 160,000 hugs for Chan posts in the following days. Days, it turned out, that began to feel unusually quiet. Normally this wouldn't be too alarming. Stray Kids had just finished a round of promo and would be releasing a new album. They were kicking off a tour soon too, and the first official Lightstick was being teased this week. There was a lot to prepare for. Amongst the silence from the kids, a Skiz Talker was released, giving Stays content from the flurry of activity that had come the week before. But one member in particular was suspiciously absent, only showing up briefly in background shots of the episode. When Lino's birthday came later that week, Stays knew things felt off. The official account posted congratulating him, but there was no birthday live, and none of the members shared birthday wishes on Instagram either, which added to the feeling that something wasn't quite right. Hyunjin made an appearance as MC on Music Core the next day, but aside from that, Stray Kids were out of sight. Then news came that the 2 Kids Room episodes scheduled for this week would be delayed until further notice. When Sunday came and went, with no new Chan's Room episode, it was hard for Stays not to feel like something bigger was happening, but no one knew what. Confusion and unease settled in. Despite this build-up, no one expected the news that came next. On the morning of October 28th, JYP released a statement on fans announcing Woojin's departure, stating, quote, "Hello, this is JYP Entertainment. Woojin has left Stray Kids due to personal circumstances and has terminated his contract. Up until now, he was a Stray Kids member. We would like to apologize for troubling many fans with this sudden news. Because of this, the release of Stray Kids' new mini-album, Clay Levanter, which was scheduled to be released on November 25th, will be delayed until December 9th. We would like you to send your support to Woojin, who will be going on his new path. We would also like to ask Stay to continue to support the 8 Stray Kids members who will continue on their path to their dreams with their compass. Thank you." Later that evening, Chan released his own statement. A letter written for Stays which centered his care for them, despite going through such a hardship himself. This read, quote, "Stays, it's Chan. I'm writing this so late at night because I was worried about Stays, who must have had a harder, more shocking day than anyone else. We always wanted to be Stays' strength, but my heart felt heavy the whole day, knowing today must have been hard for you. In the beginning I was so happy we would debut as 9, but I'm sorry I couldn't protect the number 9 until the end. But now we're in a situation where we have to recognize that we can't be together as 9 anymore, and we have no choice but to accept reality. Stays were very worried about us today too. We're all right, so we hope Stays won't be hurt too much over this. Although it will be a challenge for us to move on in the future, the 8 of us will stay strong through it. Stray Kids will keep moving forward and will do our best to comfort Stay and become your strength with our music and performances." Even with those words of reassurance, Stays grappled with confusion and disbelief. They trended tags supporting Woojin, wishing him well, while others demanded his return. Stayville was filled with conspiracies, hot takes, and emotional posts, while others chose to process things offline. While all of this unfolded in fan spaces, Stray Kids were hustling behind the scenes, and likely had been for some time. Transitioning from 9 to 8 in the middle of an already packed schedule meant they had major adjustments to make and very little time to accomplish that in. There was a tour to prepare for, lines to redistribute, a lead vocalist position to fill, an album to re-record, choreography to change, and most pressingly, an original soundtrack coming out before all of this that needed to feature 8 members' voices instead of 9. On November 6th, an episode of Extraordinary You aired, featuring what viewers were certain were Stray Kids' voices, and on the 7th, the official account announced the release of Never Ending Story, the first OT8 song released by Stray Kids. This marked the start of a new era for Stray Kids. Their debut as 8 wasn't as official as before. Instead of a live broadcast held on stage to release a new album, the members crammed into a tiny orange studio, dressed all in white for episode 43 of Chan's Room, where they gave their first step out as 8. This is the bit where we deviate from facts and inferences and allow a little creative interpretation because everything the kids do is layered with meaning, and a moment like this is no exception. There's a reason they all wore white. A reason why Chan's room is where this took place. The kids' first official debut song was District 9, in which all the members wore white, and Chan has explained in the past that the all-white outfits for the extras in the background of the Backdoor music video represented the group recruiting more people to join Stray Kids Megaverse. So we can safely assume that this is no meaningless gesture, that this is how they chose to make their debut. Stray Kids as 8 and their song, Never Ending Story. You can pause to read the lyrics of Never Ending Story here if you like, but if you're listening, we'll just touch on the chorus, which says, "Never say goodbye, because we are one, because we will walk together in the same dream. Continue smiling by my side, just like this moment, longer than tomorrow, further than eternity. I love you." We'll leave the rest of the interpretation up to individuals, but for our part, we can tell you this is why we're here every Sunday, because we're walking together with Chan and Stray Kids in the same dream, smiling by their sides longer than tomorrow, further than eternity. Because we love Chan, and Minho, and Changbin, and Hyunjin. We love Jisung, and Felix, and Seungmin, and our Jongin. That's why we'll be here this Sunday, September 22nd at 11 p.m. KST, to be with all of them for their debut, as we rewatch episode 43 of Chan's Room. I'll see you then.